In this exercise, we're going to build a very simple clock. To print the current time, we can use puts and time.now. Running this will print that time out. But we'd like our clock to keep telling us the time as time progresses. So we're going to use the concept of looping in Ruby. We can create an infinite loop using the loop keyword and passing it a block. Now the code inside this block will be continually executed until we stop our program. Running our clock program will continuously print out the current time every few milliseconds until we press Ctrl+C to exit the program. This is a little better, but it's still not great. Let's put a delay of 1 second after every time it prints out the time. We can use the sleep method to do that, and we'll make it delay for just 1 second. Now running our clock, it's not quite so frantic. It's only printing the time every second. So essentially we're seeing the time as it updates. We can do a little better than this though. Let's format our time so it's a bit easier to read. Going to add the format hour, minute and seconds on date, month and year. But the problem is that every time the time changes, it's printed on a new line. So that means the clock will continually keep scrolling down our screen. There's a little trick we can use to fix this. Firstly, let's get rid of the puts and replace it with a print so that we're not putting a new line at the end of every printout. You might say this is even worse, but bear with me, we're getting closer. In Ruby, there's a special character called the return character, or carriage return, and it's designated by a backslash and an R. Then I'm going to use string math, just with an addition, to append the formatted time onto my carriage return character. Now, after we print out each time, the cursor returns to the beginning of the line with the carriage return character and prints it out again. So our clock output stays essentially static. In the exercise solutions, I've also given you an object-oriented clock. This uses the clock class, a method called run, and a method called timeString. To use our clock, we're going to call clock.new and assign that to a variable called clock. We don't actually need our own constructor here because there's really nothing to set. Clock doesn't have any attributes. Then to run our clock, we're going to use clock.run, which we'll call the run method and use the infinite loop.